call the meeting to order. Jen, if you'll take roll.
Commissioner Corbin?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Abraham? Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have attached the July 28th minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have in front of you the August 4th minutes. Any additions or corrections? I shouldn't say minutes, the agenda.
Agenda.
Yes, we're done.
We're all good. I'll make a motion to approve August 4th, 2014 agenda.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence. I see we do have Rosie Jameson in the audience from the Madison Chamber of Commerce. And if you would step up to the table there, you and Bernie, we'd appreciate it. That way the audience at home can hear much better in that when you're by the microphone.
I thought it was just gonna be Rosie talking, I'll sit beside her.
Well, it might be. It just depends. So,
Well,
In case you haven't seen these before.
it's a definite pleasure for us to have an opportunity to visit with you, and I also would like to tell you, we appreciate the opportunity to do this a week after the end of Discovery Day, because it gave us a little bit more time to work through some things and ensure that we were giving the material we'd like to you today. I did send some things electronically to Jen as well later, I guess it was later this morning or earlier this afternoon. And the main thing that I'd like to share with you today is just to visit about what's been happening at the Greater Madison Area Chamber, your chamber, and your community, to be able to promote and make a difference of all of our members to what we can do to make our community continue to thrive as we know it can. I have some material here for you, and I'm going to just ask again for Bernie if he can go ahead and take these, because there is some things in here that might be advantageous for you to be looking at as I'm speaking.
Thank you.
Okay? And please interject anytime, any information you have questions about or you'd like to ask a little bit more.
We could leave one, Bernie.
I know I'm going to be very cognizant of
Abraham,
your
Mr.
time,
Abraham.
and that's why I'm not going to review some of these things that you have before you. But for the benefit of the public and the other folks, I will cover some a little bit more in detail. First off, I'd like to, again, recognize the president of the Greater Madison Area Chamber of Commerce this year, and that is Bernie Skirmins, Dr. Bernie Skirmins. And other board members that are joining us here today are, yes, want to make sure, Elizabeth Avery from East River, and also, very important to the chamber function is the office manager, Jennifer DeCamp. And Jennifer is here as well as one of the other staff members. Denise Johansson is a part-time person that is not here right now, but she also joins the staff. The Greater Madison Area Chamber of Commerce has been in existence since 1930. And that seems kind of an appropriate time because 84 years is something that all of us take a look at and say that type of longevity has merit. But it only has merit because of the esteemed folks that made it happen initially. And to continue to have it thrive, financing is an important component. Not only that it's coming from the members, but the folks that volunteer, as well as you as a city, has made that investment affordable and a possibility for us to be able to continue. You can see on some of the information that I shared with you, you know, when you talk about a chamber, it has a mission, and that is to promote our members first, which is, of course, business, nonprofit, service organizations, as well as the industrial folks and manufacturing, the community overall, and economic development in the Greater Madison area. And what are we doing with that is for the purpose of a better quality of life for all of us. And that mission statement is truly the foundation of all we do and the basis of this request. Due to the assistance that we've had, member investment, and capable volunteer and staff leadership, the Chamber of Commerce has made extensive positive impact upon the community. However, without the amount received from you, the city, and through the tax base that we have, your chamber would not be in a position, nor would we have the collective impact that we have had throughout time. We appreciate that partnership. We continue to know that what we do has direct relationship as right hand, left hand for all of the folks. So when we take a look at members, we're knowing that the city of Madison is not only a partner, but a member, and each and every one of them are the chamber's customers as well as investors and stakeholders. So we're looking at it in that regard. With your positive consideration, we're hoping that we're going to not only continue what we've been doing, but grow the opportunities, further promote this great community we call home, and increase revenues, which obviously is what we're all interested in. Mayor Lindsay and Commissioners, this request is to further enhance technology in every aspect of what we do. We have brought to you last year the request for Chamber Master, which is a database linked to the nation, and it has been very successful for us to be able to enhance our efficiencies. We also try to improve our services through some of those technologies that are there. We're investigating the use of their development of the website as well as constant contact to meet and exceed member and community expectations because of the services that we can provide, and to further promote and increase our patronage. Because what we're interested in, obviously, is not only our local folks to shop locally, but also for new patrons to come to Madison to consider what we have to offer and take advantage of the opportunities. Last year, I asked you to support 23% of our operating budget. That was at $324,245. In 2013, the city actually supported 24% of the operating budget, 1% more than what we'd requested in 2014. This year, for us to continue to focus as we are on track, and we are staying within that projection and meeting the member enhanced promotion and financial goals. So we thank you once again for that support and vote of confidence with the changes that we requested to be able to increase with a part-time staff person from 2 to 2.5, and also to enhance the technology through the Chamber Master investment and a few other things that we were able to do. And we also were then in turn able to increase revenues through the activities that we generated. This year, as I have in the information before you, I am asking you to, as a respective request with all of the kinds of things that you have on your plate, we are, however, asking for $81,000, an additional $6,000 from our current $75,000, which represents 22% of our operating budget projection of $361,951. Again, we are trying to move toward the dependence on the city to a lesser percent of the operating budget to be able to enhance the opportunities that we have, that we're creating, and for us to be able to continue to enhance our market share. Because if we don't do it and we don't promote ourselves, it's very difficult for others to come in and tackle whether or not they can help the Greater Madison Area Chamber of Commerce and our businesses. That's our job, that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to do it with the dependence of a less percent from you. So I provided for you that listing from 2012 through 2015 on what the amount was that we requested, what the chamber budget overall was, and what the percentage was indicated. And as you can see, the chamber has become, over those 4 years of time, less dependent on the city.
So in 22 years, it'll be 0?
22 years, you know, if Mike, if you and I are still there at that time,
That's
let's just say,
amazing.
that's a goal. So, and you know, you can look at it another way too, and you think that's 22%, $81,000, but $280,000, almost $281,000 is coming from the membership investment, programming support, and event revenue, because the chamber does generate event revenue. The chamber's validity is dependent upon this capable management and resources, yet enough to meet expenditures and to be competitive. Otherwise, for us to just maintain, we have to make a further investment. But to grow and get our market share, as I was mentioning, we're asking for this review. I've outlined the additional 6,000 projected increase from the city of Madison, which would be assisting with the following. And, you know, I might just have you change venue here a little bit and hear from the president if he's interested in moving forward on the first item.
I'll explain more about the billboard. First of all, I'm happy to be on the chamber board now. I've lived in town for 36 years already. About the same time Mayor Lindsay moved to town, I think.
Yes, yep.
We met way back then. You know, when I was in private business here for 32 years, and I've been involved in a number of community things, but I had never been on the chamber board until the past 4 years. We have a 10-member board with a great cross-section of people from around the town that are very committed and, you know, vested in the community. And I'm very impressed with the board. Anyway, in the 4 years I've been on the board, I've noticed a definite increase in activity, events, being busier and busier, and a lot of stuff going on. Now, as far as the billboard opportunity, it's a very important exit off Interstate 90. It's I-29.
I-29, no, that's fine.
I-29, and I drive by there a lot too, and I've noticed all the big signs promoting Brookings or whatever, and we thought, what a great opportunity. We heard the billboard would become available, and we found out that there's like 17,000 vehicles daily driving by. What a great opportunity to spot that for people as they're heading north, right before the exit, to think about maybe pulling over and checking out Madison. So we found out what the cost would be. There's a little discount currently offered because there's still a fireworks truck parked by it, if you've noticed, but that's gonna be moved further away. There's
Premises.
there's a lot of, yeah, that was back when it was too wet to move it, a month ago, I guess. But, they
Well,
said-
and actually, if you've noticed it, they always drag it east in the field till near the 4th of July, then they drag it back out again.
Have they really? See, I didn't notice that before.
So
but
it will
I
be
noticed a mile
moved.
south there's a couple other trucks like that. Well, anyway, there's a lot of interest in that and other businesses that might join in to cover part of the advertising thing. But if you've seen it now, or if you haven't seen it, please take note of that. Okay?
Thanks a bunch, Bernie. The other thing about that investment is, you know, it's one of those deals where if you have the opportunity, you need to take it at the time. We did not have it within the budget. We were able to capitalize onto this with LAIC, their board, and our board decided this was something we needed to move forward on as it was available. And it may be more things that would become available down the road, but at this point in time, that was the one that was open, that was the size that was open. And who knows, if we start investigating and realizing that it really does benefit us, when we finally have 19 fixed, there might be an opportunity to try to capitalize on those east-west travelers as well for I-90, depending upon budget availability. The increase of special liability insurance, totally beyond our control. We've had some tragedies across the country on certain kinds of events that have happened even way too close to us here in South Dakota with special events, and therefore the insurance coverage of that just continues to escalate. This year alone, it went up 47% for our Day with Santa, Discovery Day activity, and Lake Appreciation. Now, this doesn't even compensate for those people that we have, folks, like South Dakota Rural Water Association. We also have Latitude Cruise Line. We also have, it's escaping me right now, but those people are allowing, Carolyn Rental from all the inflatables. They allow us to actually use their insurance, and we are a certificate of liability, just a organization that is being able to capitalize on that for the given day, and we don't pay anything for that. It's just the process of getting it covered, and that doesn't even incorporate this information here. This is in addition to and over and above that. So that was something that has come up, and it will continue to escalate, I'm sure. $500 increase for the backup storage for the organization. We need to have an enhancement of size of what we currently have had, and we continue to develop more and more, so to have that ability to go back to the archives and things is important, and that's where that dollar amount is coming into play. Website enhancements will be something that we may be looking at through Chamber Master in full, but we may need to tweak some things, and that does not come at a completely free cost, even though we've had exceptional assistance through our webmaster over time as one of our members. They have done it for free, but we're also looking at a need for some enhancements there beyond what they can do. Chamber Master Database is a constant for you from last year. However, the constant contact is going to be with overall contacts as well, and a contract that we get as a part of Chamber Master. The wage and benefit package that the board went ahead with in 2014 is self-evident, but the 2015 projected is related to regional industry standards, and that's where that amount is coming into play. About half of that is the benefit overall package, and the 2.5 staffing is what also is represented. Pictorial images to showcase Madison within the chamber. We have no real pictures of our community within the chamber, so it's an opportunity to maybe use some of those walls to focus on our attractions and to show people having fun in Madison as they come in, and giving them ideas of what they can do. $1,100 for South Dakota print and electronic advertising. We have the possibility and have taken advantage of it and would like to do more through the getaway ads and the shoulder-to-shoulder ads, which would be fall and spring. We have a lot of folks that like to get off the main trail and go the back roads, which is what we really are for the 90 and the 29 traveler, and this is something to get out to those Des Moines, Denver, that's that population that we're capitalizing and where this goes to. And then additional $800 for promotional item. We don't have a little freebie or a giveaway that oftentimes people look to, or when we have the DSU students come into back to school and the new students who are first coming to us, to be able to have them feel affiliated and associated with the community. That's part of that information. So these are the projected expenses based upon the member projected dues and projected growth, which is at about a 3% amount and a potential of 10 new members. I will share with you that currently, since the end of 2013, what we have increased has been 20 members from 293 to 313 at this point in time. So we continue to enhance and show to others the value-added benefit of being a chamber member. But to do that, we have to provide that value added, and this budget request is doing just that in our mind's eye. We are currently at a threshold to both maintain and increase our positive impact for the members, to enhance the promotion and further developments. Or we could fall short of those opportunities that we've now created in our community and members if we do not expand our resources and their development through financial resources. Your positive consideration of this budget request would position the chamber with additional resources to increase its market share in area patronage, purchases, member involvement, and tourism attraction tax revenues through the promotional plan with further development, through implementation of available technology, social media usage more readily and marketing, maintenance of the capable personnel that we have been able to obtain and hopefully maintain, as well as interest in leaders of the community to be our chamber member board, and management of value-added programming is why availability of volunteers seems to be dwindling, and a need for our chamber staff and board to be more involved to be able to maintain the activities that we have gotten accustomed to. All of this requires the use of technology and a management plan, which we also have been implementing with the help of us being able to utilize more work with technology. Currently, as I mentioned, we have this 6.8% increase of active members from 293 to 313. To continue to maintain and grow that group, we need to show results. And we need to continue to show results for their investment to be made worthy of their declining amounts and the amount that they want to spend, to be able to ensure that we have programming with adequate resources and current tools and competent personnel which is what this request is involving and does include. You know, one of the things that I noticed that when I was here last week with our very, very competent colleague and partner, LAIC's Executive Director Julie Gross, is that she gave you kind of a report, and I have it listed there for you to not go in and litanize that, and I will also share it with the media folks. But just a comment or two for you. You know, since we last meet, since I only visit with you once a year, there have been a lot of things happening with the Greater Madison Chamber. And a lot of things are because the people are making a difference, but it's the resources and the impetus and the leadership that has been brought forward by the board and the committees and the activities that people want to be a part of a winning deal. They want to be involved with progress, and we're making those platforms available. We're asking you to allow that platform to be a little bit broader, so more people have an opportunity to be a part of it. Julie had mentioned to you the Madison Downtown Beyond Task Force, the cooperative effort that we had with the Advantage South Dakota, and the successful implementation of our first ever Madison Manufacturing Days, what we're looking at expanding, so I'm not going to belabor those. But I do want to tell you that we had the largest ever Welcome to DSU students last year with over 300. And when you think about that, we're inviting them to have Madison be their home. And this is allowing us to be able to further that involvement and exposure to them with chamber membership. We had the largest ever show and sell, which is bringing people into town for the holidays and a tradition like many have become accustomed. We had 23 member recognitions and pride in what they're doing and helping them feel good about being a chamber member and being an active business in the community. Because of that, we have had 10 in 2014, and we have 5 that are already planned through the end of September. Our Facebook has been utilized a lot, and I will tell you that we had impacted and views of the largest ever, the first week in July, of 2,563 people. Usually we hover around the 1,500 figure, and before I came, it was like, before the folks got involved with utilization of Facebook and trying to really market and promote things that others can see what's happening, we had less than 40 visits per week. That increased expenditure and involvement has really made a difference for people seeing what's going on in Madison. In addition, I want you to just think about all of the kinds of things that you've been reading on your chamber updates in the last few years, or few months and weeks, and how you are also taking a look at some of the committee activities and the increased exposure that we've had. Those things are happening because of sponsorship and a buy-in. That continued buy-in happens because people are looking at the progress. We hope that we can continue that kind of progress. Successful events are enjoyed by others and enhance our image and community pride. They're dependent upon volunteers, and we also are having impact of board members and staffing to make that happen. We continue to hope to do that. There are many things that I covered and many things that you have that I haven't talked about that you have before you. If you have any questions at this time, I'd certainly be willing and be very interested, Bernie, Liz, and I, to be able to address them. If you don't, or you have them in the future, please don't hesitate to contact me. We enjoy the partnership that we've had with the city of Madison. We enjoy the opportunity to be able to have Madison our home, and want to do everything we can to make it possible for our members and our residents to enjoy this great place that we hope will continue to thrive and progress. With that, I would just tell you that we continue to consider the promotion of this community our front purpose, our members, and the economic development to make it better as a place for all of us to live and work. Thanks for the partnership and your continued enhancement of this progressive community.
Thank you. Discovery Day was definitely interesting. I did visit with some of the merchants while it was raining, and they were hoping that the rain would stop by noon and that the crowds would come out, and it did.
It
You
kind
know,
of,
the rain
moved
stopped.
From
and-
from afternoon to morning as far as the activity.
Yes, yeah.
Afternoon is much busier than the morning.
Mhm.
Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah, so the ones that I visited with later in the day and that were very pleased, you know, with how the day finally turned out and the people turned out when the rains quit.
To have the partnership with the Martin Park as well as the growing opportunity for folks to come home and enjoy their community from where they graduated with the all-school reunion was a win-win-win. And we feel very fortunate to have all of us believe that that last weekend and Saturday is a good day, as well as all the folks that participated in activities. It really makes a difference.
And the committee for the all-school reunion had told me they were hoping for 750 people, and they had 1,010. So they said that
I know that was their goal.
that was their goal. And then I've also heard from people who, for whatever reason, didn't know what was going on until after it was over, and said that if it happens again, they will be there. So that was exciting things to hear, too.
It really was.
So,
We have many, many wonderful things happening, and you folks have been involved with many of them every step of the way. We hope that we can continue to make that possible in every way for our members, because as we always know, it makes a difference on the collective approach, and all of us are foot soldiers to make it happen and to make that progress become a reality. So we look forward to working with you in whatever way we can, and for your positive consideration of what we have requested.
very good, thank you.
I
And with that,
I got just a
yes.
couple of things. One, with your listserv that you send on a weekly basis, I think, is that something, can Joe Citizen subscribe to that as well, or?
One of the things that we have looked at with that, with the listserv, is the fact that it is indeed a service to our members for
Yeah.
a paid membership.
Okay.
If it would be something that we would have developed into the constant contacts
Mhm.
mode, and then they could click on it, then we wouldn't provide it to them, we would just send it out to everyone, say it's available at this time, and then others may capitalize on it. What it could actually turn into being is members could have information that they could provide directly, and then it would be a service that they could get the news out
Right.
in that format.
Okay. I'm just saying, if and when you get to that point, then I think work with Jen's office so that we can help advertise it,
Yes.
because,
For
you know,
all the-
so, cause like a person that didn't know that
Mhm.
all school reunion or Discovery Days is going on, boy, we're not sure where they were at, so.
well, they weren't from Madison, that was
Oh,
one thing.
okay.
Yeah, they weren't from Madison.
And
But
that's
had
what-
they, had they heard,
Okay,
you
well, that
know.
makes it a
Yes,
little
no,
bit
they were
better,
not
right?
from Madison.
Some of your
No, they were
folks
from out of
that
town.
too have helped me to be able to do electronic advertising through
Yep.
the tourism attractions
Yep.
too. And those associations then spew off into the state of South Dakota, to the state news, which really gets a lot of readership.
Sure. The only other thing I guess I would throw out is, not that you need another meeting to go to, but we're here every Monday night. And I would say maybe come back in 6 months, give us an update, so you're not here just once a year. I think LAIC, we have them come every quarterly basis, just to give us an update, kind of keep us
If you're interested,
in-
we'll
in
always
the
share,
middle of
but I
it,
know your
so-
time is very valuable, so
Yeah,
thank you.
so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any
With-
further?
Well, with that, I will ask for a motion to acknowledge the budget request.
So moved.
second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Commission and Mayor Lindsay.
Seeing no old business, new business. Consider landowner sidewalk repair extension requests. Sidewalk repair improvements, 2013-3. Chad, would you want to address this?
Yes, I can, thank you, Your Honor. There was 2 written requests provided, and they were included in the agenda packet for extension to the sidewalk repairs required to be completed in 2013. This would be a second consideration of their extension. Both parties are at St. Thomas Church and the United Methodist Church. They are commencing in some larger projects and would like to wait till the end of those projects so that they're not putting in new sidewalk now and then driving over it and breaking it up and having to replace it again. The request is to complete that, the extension until November of 2016. And the rest of the information is basically included in the agenda packet.
And is there a recommendation from your office?
I don't have any concerns about it, it just makes sense, you know, to
Okay.
do that. none of the repair, well, there are some areas that are worse than others, of course, in these, and, you know, the only thing would be is any risk of tripping or falling by a member of the public and what comes with that. But at the same time, these are all over town, different types of things. We're working on those with our sidewalk inspection program, of course, but I think it's reasonable to grant that extension.
I'll make a motion to approve landowner sidewalk repair extension request for the sidewalk repair improvements 2013.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 2014-13, establish a line extension policy. And this is something that came about through the Electric Advisory Committee, and it's, Dennis, would you want to address this at all, please?
Basically, all it was is,
If you wouldn't mind coming up for, thank you. That way, I don't get the phone calls of, well, I couldn't understand him, he was too far away.
I thought you liked phone calls.
Yes.
What we did just made up, it's kind of, part of it's what we've been following all the time, just made up a list, so everything is, you know, somebody comes in, talks to Jen or Chad or whoever, they got an idea of what the city furnishes, or the development corporation, you know, new business comes in, we give them a transformer, at city costs and stuff, or if they move to a different place, what we furnish and what we don't furnish. And just through the committee, we kind of just spelled it out, what it was, so it's, part of it's what we've been doing, most of it is, it's just in writing now.
Yep.
Kind of just more formalize it, and so
Right.
Jen's gonna be.
We all have answers.
Everybody's got the same
Yes.
answer, more
Right.
Yes.
importantly, so, okay.
And that's been the important part of it, you know, is,
And
This-
this is an option, you know, if there's something, you know, where you can make a change if it's beneficial to both parties.
Yep.
You know, it's not, everything just set in stone.
and it's also not rigid, but it does outline, you know, when somebody asks, you know, well, we would like to do this, what can the city do? And this is what we've done in the past, and now it's in written form, and just makes it easier for people to understand.
With that, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2014-13, establish line extension policy.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 20, thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Resolution 2014-14, consenting to the transfer of a franchise. Jennifer, would you want to address this?
Sure. This resolution is actually as received from WOW. A company by the name of Clarity is undergoing a complete asset purchase of WOW. If you're at all interested, this is the asset purchase document. You can pick it up and look at it if you like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is a formality. I ran it by David. He has also seen the application. This is just us consenting to the franchise WOW to Clarity.
What happens if we don't consent?
It happens anyway,
It would-
basically.
It would likely occur anyway, due to the fact that they purchased the rights, licenses, and applications of WOW. I could create some theoretical legal issues if we didn't consent, but they're more theoretical than they're practical.
And the other thing is you're dealing with interstate commerce, and unless you want to spend the money to defend why you voted no, it's, you know.
Well, with that, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2014-14, consenting to transfer of franchise.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Can I just say one thing? You remember that this is the company that started as Iway, then McLeod, then Ology, now WOW, and now Claire. I mean, I,
Prairie Wave.
Prairie Wave, yeah, I was thinking I missed another name in between there, so, yeah, it's been multiple names, and David's exactly right in that, you know, it's basically, I don't see a lot of things changing with this company, it's just the name. There's like 3 or 4 guys that are gonna own it now, and so that's,
And FYI, both entities have contacted me about looking at those franchise agreements later this fall. They must
Yep.
piggyback on each other too. They'd like to know what the other is. So you will likely see those down the road.
Very good. You also have attached bills for approval.
make a motion, we approve the bills.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You also have bills for ratification.
Make a motion to ratify the bills.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And you also have attached some personnel adjustments.
Two of them, I think.
Make a motion, we approve the personnel as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no announcements or other business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This concludes our Board of Commissioners for this evening, and that